guys, so I'm out for my daily 5K run, and this gives me way too much time to think about crazy paramotor ideas. And the latest one that I've come up with, it's actually a fly camping idea. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while now, and it's probably my favorite spot in the entire state of Kansas. It is gorgeous, but the problem is it's not very close. If I can pull this off, I'm gonna be flying for a good 100 miles. I think the biggest risk that is involved with this 100-mile stretch is probably running out of gas, and the terrain is pretty hardcore for Kansas. You have steep rolling hills, lots of trees below, and I don't really know anybody in the area. So if something happens, I mean, I'll be an hour drive from anybody that could come rescue me. So plenty of risks involved, which makes it more exciting for me. I don't know. I like to push the envelope and I like to test myself. Adventures like this seem to be the most rewarding. I'm really hoping that I can gather all my gear this afternoon and wind cooperates and I'm able to do this because it's an amazing spot. I want to be able to share it with you guys and show off just like how much potential a paramotor really has, because it's crazy. It's crazy how much you can do with it if you're willing to push yourself and really test your own limits. With all that being said, I should probably shower, pack some gear in a bag, and then I'll probably see you guys out at the airport. I'm a 202-pound guy. I'm all geared up. I'm just getting ready to see how much I weigh with all my gear. The big reveal here. 325.2. So 325, that means I have 123 pounds worth of gear on me, which is kind of insane. We've got an ambitious one today. If I said I wasn't nervous, I would be lying. So we're headed to a place called Tuttle Creek today. We should be able to get there no problem at all. Wind is about 5 miles an hour, kind of out of like the southeast a little ways, and I'm headed southwest, so it'll be a crosswind the whole way. As the crow flies, it's a little over 45 miles at the spot that I want to land. I'm sure it's not gonna be perfectly straight, but we'll get there as quick as we can and hopefully have plenty of time to get things set up. I'm honestly just worried about running out of gas, so I'll be trimmed in most of the way there and hopefully we don't have any issues at all. The PAP has a 17-liter tank that is completely topped off. I mean, I don't think you could hardly fit another drop of gas in there. I also grabbed like a little 1-liter bottle. It's full of gas too. I figured maybe I could use that to help me start a fire and then kind of use it as like a reserve tank in case I don't quite have enough. I have never actually flown this all the way to Tuttle and back, so it's kind of a big mystery to me too. I will be flying the Cougar. That's my most efficient wing. Honestly, it does pretty good. Alrighty, let's kite this wing once. Make sure it is ready to rock and roll. Oh yeah, effortless. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and pre-flight the motor really quick before we get things strapped on. I just like to grab everything, make sure nothing's loose. Sparky the spark plug ain't popping off, but I think everything does look good. I actually took it for a 2-hour flight this morning. Motor's getting a workout today. Pre-flight, that's why we do it. I'm so excited to get out there. I'm so excited to show you guys the spot. The quicker I can get everything set up, the better, because I'm wearing about 125 pounds on my back. But this bag weighing an extra 32 pounds, I actually did move my hang points forward just a little bit. It's a really long flight. I'm guessing it's probably gonna take me at least an hour and a half to get there. I want to be as comfortable as possible. I want it to be relaxing and not be in pain the whole way. Let's get strapped in and get up in the sky. What do you say? Excited to show you guys my favorite spot in the entire state of Kansas. Come along for the ride. Let's go.
After a brief moment of focus and meditation, I was in fact able to run my big heavy butt fan into the sky, where I quickly climbed into treacherous turbulent air and found my heading towards Tuttle Creek.
Alright guys, I don't know how well you can hear me, but anyways, I'm going up on the lake here, and so far it's been a pretty smooth flight. That first 45 minutes of flying was pretty hands-on. I was getting rocked pretty good, but that was kind of expected. Now we're in one of the prettiest areas in Kansas, and I mean, I think it kind of speaks for itself. I don't know how well the GoPro's picking all this up, but very hilly, very, well, just lots of really tall bluffs, extremely green. It's been raining a lot lately, so I'm hoping I can find an empty spot up on top of this hill. It's actually a free camping area, so that's kind of cool. So I'm not just trespassing, landing on some random guy's land. But man, is it pretty out here. I actually see my area coming up. I think I burned like right at half a tank getting here, and I'm supposed to have a tailwind the whole way back. That being said, I think we're gonna be able to pull this off, but only time will tell. The first leg is I mean, it should be the hardest leg because you got the most weight, hardest to get up the ground. I don't know, when you wake up at 5:30 a.m., you're half asleep. I don't know, silly things happen. Hopefully that's not foreshadowing, but I'm excited to get there, get on the ground, start gathering firewood, all that good stuff, and we'll see what the night brings. For now, I think I'm probably gonna shut some cameras off and just focus on landing safely. I will see you down there. We're out here. Grass is taller than I was hoping for, but nothing too crazy. There's so many wildflowers out here. It's pretty. Woo. Man, I just gotta take a moment here. This is amazing. So it's 7:35. It took me almost exactly an hour and a half to get here. I'm about to check and see how much fuel I have, but that's not bad. That's pretty much exactly what I expected. So we just landed. We just traveled 45.8 miles. Average speed 32, max speed 40. Take a screenshot of that once. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a great night. Reasons I love this place, I almost feel like I'm in the mountains. These bluffs, some of them are about 200 foot tall. When you put it up side by side with just the absolute flatness of the Great Plains, you gotta use your imagination a little bit, but it's almost like you're in the mountains. This is the one spot that I always come to, and there's never anybody out here. It seems like I always have the whole place to myself. It's just it's an awesome place, and I'm so fortunate to be able to just land here. All right, let's get this motor off our back. Should weigh a little bit less now. I'm gonna set you down right there. We made it. Grass is a little taller than I was hoping it would be. Lots of stuff to snag on. Oh man, this is so cool. I love that somebody left this fire pit the way it is right now. That is awesome. Let's pop open the bag, make sure everything made it in one piece here. I actually bought this bag specifically for fly camping. Butterflies are majestic. Anyways, I bought this bag specifically for fly camping. I really like how it works. Just enough room to fit all the stuff that I need. Sweatpants for the morning. It's gonna get pretty cold, down to like 57 I think tonight. Some snacks because you gotta. So this is my sleeping pad. Rain fly for my tent. The tent itself. Sleeping bag, which probably takes up more room than anything. If there's one thing I could downsize, it might be the sleeping bag. I brought spare fuel, which I think I'm gonna need because that gas tank is like right at halfway full. I think if I add this to it, that'll get me there. I'm like, what's this gonna buy me? 15 minutes? What are the odds 15 minutes is enough to get me anywhere? But honestly, I think that is gonna be perfect, which is insane. But yeah, little rockstar action for the morning. I brought multiple waters. I got one in my pocket on the Paramotor that I didn't drink on the way here. And then I got a full one right here, so that's great. All right, I got a bunch of batteries. I did bring an external battery pack, because you never know. Extra GoPro batteries, all the things. And then here, we have the drone controller, Goose Island cap. Oh yeah, I drank this Goose Island in Baja whenever we flew to Cerralvo. We crossed the ocean 8 miles, landed on a deserted island, and camped out overnight. That was me, Rob Candela, Joe Orsi. That's an awesome memory. I feel like I need to keep that cap. Drank a Goose Island on an island. We're all getting ready for bed, right? And all of a sudden a scorpion comes out of nowhere and scares the crap out of us. Priceless. I would do Baja again in a heartbeat. Baja was amazing, but again, I don't think I could top the first experience I had, so I didn't want to go back and like taint that memory that I had, flying with whale sharks, all that good stuff. Anyways, definitely not Powerade, just so everybody knows. Now you know what I got. I'm gonna pitch the tent. I'm not really sure where. I think that wind is supposed to kind of be out of that direction, so maybe I come over here a little bit. All right, let's get to it. right, guys, I'm gonna go find some more firewood. Could not ask for a better night.
Once I began roasting mallows, I was ready to hunker down for the night. This area has some of the most incredible night skies, and the nearby military base even put on some kind of light show for me that I could only assume were drones.
Fort Riley stuff. All right, guys, so it's about 10 p.m. It is pitch dark. I got a fire going. Been roasting some marshmallows, campfire stuff. And yeah, I figured I would do like a quick debrief on the flight over here. It was really bumpy, like the first 45 minutes. I got rocked. And that was expected because I took off well before sunset. So I got to my campsite, I land, I checked my fuel level, and honestly, I have a little bit under half of a tank, which is concerning. I'll go over my list of concerns for tomorrow morning. One, I mean, this is Kansas in summer, so it's gonna be soaking wet everywhere, be really damp, which means I'll be laying my glider out and sopping wet grass. That's problem number one. I am in like knee-high grass. The Cougar has unsheathed lines, so it really likes to wrap around every little weed. Also, I'm on kind of like an island in the sky almost. I'm on a hilltop. It's awesome. I love this spot. Right now I'm looking out and there's like fireflies all around me. It's like I'm just hovering above a sea of fireflies. It slopes downwards all around me. Downhill's good, but with all these weeds and stuff, I don't know. I mean, I could see something going south. Hopefully it doesn't, but things happen. The nearest friend is like an hour and a half away. If things go south, I'm kind of stranded for a while. The next concern is the weather. It's actually forecasted to be like a 10-mile-an-hour wind in the morning. I'm going off my gut here. It's always forecasted higher than what it really is, and not like drastically different, but like a couple mile an hour. And with that strong of a wind, I'm hoping that slightly under half of a tank of fuel it's actually going to blow me back to the LZ. If that's the case, I'll be fine. I did bring like an extra liter of gas. I actually used it to help me get the fire started. So by the time I actually dumped it into the gas tank of my Paramotor, I don't know, there was probably like 3/4 of a liter. It didn't really make a big difference, but honestly, I'm hoping that gets me like another 15 minutes of flying, and that could make all the difference, honestly. Yeah, I'm out here. It's really peaceful, honestly. There's no people. I haven't seen a car go by. I haven't seen anything, and that's part of the reason I love this spot. It's kind of my own little slice of solitude, if you will. Yeah, I'm hoping to get a good night's sleep tonight. We'll pack things up and sort of assess what the wind is doing, and I'm sure I will have to harness all of my skills to make it back home, but stay tuned. I'm sure it'll be a fun adventure. Peace.
The first leg of the mission was officially complete. I could finally rest easy before taking on the challenges the next morning would bring.
All right, good morning, guys. It's actually quite a bit windier than I was hoping it would be, so I'm up about a half hour earlier than planned. I think I should probably use this wind to get out of here before it gets any worse. If it looks like I just woke up, I just woke up. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a little rough getting out of here. I mean, this is a weird little cove, so I'm sure the wind current coming through here it's probably worse right here up on top of this hill than it is anywhere. Should make for an easy takeoff. Probably gonna regret saying that. Slept okay though. It's about 5:50 a.m. Sun should be up in like 15 minutes. Really cloudy. None of that was really forecasted. Strange, but that's Mother Nature for you. Always throwing curveballs at you. Anyways, let's get this tent packed up and hopefully get in the sky before too long. Alrighty, we are all packed up. Tent was right there. Now it's in the bag. Motor's looking good. Still a pretty decent wind. It's kind of switchy. I think it's just because I'm back in this cove. Yeah, right now it's like kind of like coming off of those hills over there. I don't really want to run that way because there is like small little trees growing all over right there. There's also another like really flat spot down here, and that might be the better place to launch. I'll inflate it once and kind of see how it feels. If it's no good, I'll walk down there, and that should be an easier place to take off from. Lots of snag hazards and everything else to ruin your morning. That's all part of the adventure though, so I accept the challenge, and I think we'll be able to get out of here no problem though. Man, just listen to all those birds. Pretty awesome out here. Yeah, I could get used to this. Yeah, so I wasn't recording, but about the time I got everything hooked up, the wind did a complete 180. So now it's coming out of that direction, which is the direction I need to fly. And I don't have a lot of gas left. This could be interesting. I think it should switch back soon, but it's coming strong out of the opposite direction. Maybe I should use it. Let's do it. Okay, boys, okay. That's not good. Pull start is not engaging. Oh, moster. let's get this thing fired up. Oh, that's a sick joke. It's coming back out of that way, but that's the direction it's supposed to be coming out of, so I'm gonna switch back around. Just give me a direction. Should have got off the ground this morning when it was blowing good. All right, now we got a wind coming out of that direction. That's what we want. Come on now. Man, there's just none.
Despite nil wind conditions, I was prepared to send it anyway. But I had another tailwind, so I got nowhere fast. I quickly set up down the hill where the wind seemed to be more consistent and clipped back in. I was determined to get this chairplane back in the sky. Well, I had done it. The two hardest parts of this journey were complete. And now, I just needed to make it home before my fuel gauge hit E. That is, if Paramotors had fuel gauges. I stared down at my little green island in the sky that I called home for the night and flew onwards towards the finish line and breakfast.
Alright guys, quick update on the flight. So, getting off the ground was pretty tough. The wind was really switchy, not ideal, especially with the big bag. I ended up doing a reverse launch, which I didn't think I would be able to do with this great big bag on my lap, but it actually went pretty good. And then, yeah, so I climbed up a little ways, I got my heading, and found a nice jet stream, and now I'm quite literally flying back home. I just checked Gaggle, and it was showing 58-mile-an-hour ground speed, and that is trimmed almost all the way in. I like to trim my glider right before I'm in that top end of the power band, so I think I'm still getting pretty good fuel economy, but that's promising. I should be able to make it back without running out of gas. Yeah, I mean, time will tell. There's still about 40 miles to go, so a lot can happen between here and there, but I will keep you guys posted if anything crazy happens. Woo! It's good to be up here. That was a hard-earned launch. Never felt better. I was drenched in sweat. Anywho, time to keep flying.
Honestly, I know Kansas gets a bad rap for being flat and boring, but I'm here to eliminate those stereotypes one YouTube video at a time. Sure, I like traveling to exotic places just like anyone, but Kansas has 4 very drastically different seasons that make it an entirely different place to fly every few months. And I think that's why I'm always up here flying with excitement, like it's my first time ever seeing the place.
Alright guys, so I've only been flying for about 35 minutes and I can already see my runway. I've been averaging about 65 the whole way back. It's been butter smooth. I think the cloud cover is keeping things nice and calm up here. You couldn't drive there and double that time. So super pleased with how this flight's gone so far. Pretty nervous getting off the ground, but once we're up here, easy peasy, really strong breezy. I'm looking at these ponds down below though, and it looks like that wind is moving. So I've crossed 3 separate wind farms, and even the wind turbines are just cooking. So it's very strong down low. According to my phone, it's about a 10 or 11 mile an hour wind, which is honestly kind of necessary, I think, for me to get home and before things get too rowdy and before I run out of gas. I would say everything ended up working out in my favor. Yeah, time to start our descent here. I can see the runway dead ahead. Oh man, it's gonna feel good to be back. We'll grab some breakfast and get back to work, probably. But how do you go back to like normal everyday life after doing something wild like this? I'm about 1,000 feet up here yet, so I'm gonna let off and start cruising down. I got a strong tailwind yet, the way it should be. Man, this is something I have dreamed of doing for so long. We're not out of the woods yet, but it's starting to look promising. I'm just beyond thrilled at how this has all worked out. Probably won't be my last time. Obviously, weather's all got to line up just perfect. I had kind of a crosswind getting there and then pretty strong tailwind coming back. I think I'll probably land with a quarter tank of gas just because that tailwind was so strong. It was a good indicator of like how much fuel I'm gonna burn for future trips out there. Next time, maybe I'll plan some gas stops. That way I can really play around down low, show you guys some of the sweet spots at Tuttle Creek, because that lake is just a phenomenal area. There's so much to see, so much to do. They got a mile-long bridge you can slalom under. you name it. That is my happy spot, and I'm so excited that I was able to camp there last night. And now it's probably about 7:45. I think I will come in to land. I'm gonna focus on that because it is really strong down low. I'll probably stay trimmed out. I'm excited to be back. See you guys on the ground.
A glorious flight indeed. It still didn't feel real, but there I was, floating back down to earth like a graceful butterfly. Yep, a 325-pound overgrown purple butterfly to be exact, in all its glory.
Just like that, we're back on the ground. That was insane. All right, insanity. Woo! We did it, and we did it on the Cougar. I mean, it's wild. I guess that's why it's called the Cougar. All right, let's set the motor down. I'm really curious to see how much gas I have left. Can't be a lot. Kind of feels like there's a lot. Oh my goodness. I would say I have a good quarter tank left. I could have flown for another 45 minutes. That's crazy. Thank you, Tailwind. Made it back in one piece. That is our fuel level after flying probably right at 100 miles, honestly. I'll have to check gaggle and everything. I started it once I was in the air both times, and I'd already flown a couple miles, so we'll probably have to add like 3 or 4 miles onto the total. I'm excited to see the stats from this last flight. Should be pretty interesting. The factory hour held up good. My pull starter wasn't engaging this morning. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe just because it was so wet. Not really sure. I think I made it back just in time. It's supposed to rain here in a few hours. Yeah, it's supposed to crank up to like a 15-mile-an-hour wind, which would have been dangerous winds to be flying in probably. But anyways, I'm glad I could take you guys along. That was a great time, and hopefully I can find some time to put this video together and show it to you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys.